Hi friends and welcome. In today's video we're going to go over how to draw a peony in under 5 minutes. So grab your drawing supplies and let's just get started. Now we're going to start our peony by drawing one big circle. This is going to be kind of our confines of where we're going to be drawing our flower. And I have a line that's also down the middle which is going to show me the direction that my flower is also going to be pointing towards. And to give you a reference of what some of the petals look like on a peony, we have inner petals and outer petals. Now for the inner petals, they either stand up quite straight or they have kind of this curve to them. Now the standing up straight petals are generally pretty easy to create, but if you need help with any of these curved ones, you're going to make kind of a wide C shape. And at the very top, you're going to have a very loose pen or pencil and make a very fluttery line down connecting at the bottom. And then going to the top again, you're going to create that line down and we have kind of this curved up petal that we've created. Now for the outer petals, there's two examples that I have here to show you. The outer petals are usually flatter and wider, sometimes with a slight curve at the end. So here are the two examples that I have to show you with that kind of that lift that we're looking for. So we just looked at the side view and this example is looking straight on to the peony. And our goal for all of these petals is to keep everything very fluttery at the ends and give a little bit of movement to each petal by giving it a little lift or a curl. So now we're going to start drawing our peony. And we're going to start in the center with some of those inner petals. And depending on how in bloom the peony is, sometimes this middle bud is very tightly wound together and sometimes it's open. But for this drawing, we're going to keep everything kind of closed and tightly bound together. And the key for success here is to overlap these petals over and over again. So go in with pencil first, so you can kind of erase as you go, but you're going to overlap. So starting in the center, we're going to work our way out. And we're going to keep some of those inner petal examples in mind, so we can kind of curve them inwards. But for right now, just kind of start to get some shapes, and then you can go and add the little lines in later that are going to create those curves. So focus on creating those very kind of long, wide C shapes that I showed you before. And then once you have the placement, then you can go back in at the very top to create that line down that will kind of give that fold into the petal. So composition first, and then go in with some of those folds and flips and the movement. Now I find the inner petals are harder to draw myself, but now that we're moving on to some of the outer petals, these ones you'll find a lot easier. So we're going to create some of those very wide, flat petals now. Now you should also note, if you're going to be making some of your petals flip upwards or have some sort of movement, they actually can be quite flat down at the bottom. And that line that you would create to show that fold or that flip is actually the one that's quite wavy and fluttery. So I'm just creating a couple of more bottom petals here, and the top petals that are kind of at the very back of the flower that we're viewing it at are the easiest. So just nice long wide petals that have a lot of flutteriness at the edge. Now what I'm going to do here with my peony is I'm going to add a couple of details, and these details are to show the movement of the petals. So which direction they would be going in. So I'm using these small hatching lines just to show where some of the movement would be. It gives our peony a little bit more structure and it allows our eye to kind of understand it a little bit more. And for the details of the detail lines, I alternate between just plain hatchings, so just lines, and I also use smaller kind of dash marks and dots as well. And I find that that looks nice, and I alternate between them as much as I can. So I'm going to add a couple of details for each petal, focusing on which way the petal is moving. And just for personal preference, I'm going to go back in with another fine liner in a wider nib, and I'm just going to create some darker lines to have just a few more bolder lines to show the movement a bit more. So I'm just going to add a couple more of those and finish up some of the last details on this peony. And now that I'm done those, I can say that I'm finished my peony. That is totally fine if you want to stop here, but I like to add a couple of more extra things just to kind of finish up the look of my drawing. You can add a stem to your peony, but I'm going to add a couple of different leaves and grasses and random little doodles to just finish this drawing. So let's see if I can accomplish this in my 1 minute that I have left. Alright, I was about 7 seconds over, but here is our finished peony. I think she's a beauty, and I hope you've enjoyed this process as well. I think I'm gonna call her Francisca. I hope you found this drawing tutorial helpful. If you have, please make sure to hit that like button, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!